guys, good morning. So, I want to do a quick little video here. Excuse me, I'm actually sick as a dog right now. I got this cold that's relentless. It's all in my head. So if you hear me coughing and shit, sorry about that. Open this hot coffee. We'll try and, help me out here a little bit. Oh, by the way, check out my Hank mug from Finding Dory. Thing's badass. Hank's the octopus from the movie that helps Dory find her way. Anyway, it's just a cool ass mug. Good ass coffee this morning, very good. But where should I start with this commentary here? Okay, so basically, me and my buddy went on a field trip on an exploring investigation of this these abandoned buildings. But basically, how it started was, and by the way, he's this guy is one of the guys that went on the Centralia trip a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so I was working a third shift at my job 2 days after Christmas, I think December 27th. Working a third shift, and he knew I was working third shift, so he gave me a call on my cell phone and asking me how the night's going. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. He was still up because he had off from work the next day, so he's just not doing shit either. So we're talking, we're bull BSing on the phone, and he says, we start talking about our Centralia trip and other creepy places to try and check out and investigate. And he actually brings up this one that's literally 15 minutes away from my house, very local. And he says this place called Sleighton School. It's basically a school from the 1800s that has been abandoned for a while, and he says, yeah, we should check it out. And I'm like, well, when do you want to do this? And he's like, let's check it out tomorrow. And I'm like, tomorrow? Mind you, I'm working third shift. I get done at 8 o'clock in the morning. Plus, I'm already at this point starting to get this cold that I got now. I still haven't kicked it. But I thought, nah, it's too much. I'm going to be tired. So he says, well, think about it. If you want to go, we'll go. Well, I start Google imaging this place and the photos that other people have taken of the place, and I was like, holy shit, this place is really freaky. Guys, let me try and explain it. They got like 10 different buildings that are abandoned. Full-size buildings. By the pictures, I couldn't really tell. By the photos, I just thought, okay, it might be like a building here or there. So that morning, I manned up. I was like, okay. I called my buddy up. I said, let's go. He says, all right, you sure? I said, yeah. I drank a 5-hour energy. I figured if we got there about 9:30 a.m., I'd be home by a little after 12. Get some good photographs, some video of the place. I was wrong, guys. It took, not because of the distance. We got there. It was only 15 minutes away from where I live, but this place is so big. It's like a whole community. It's a whole abandoned community is basically what it is. It's huge. It's huge. So I underestimated how much, how big the property was, essentially. So we get there. Actually, before I even go into that, I want to give you a little description of what this place is. I did research it a little bit after the fact that I went afterwards, because for this video I want to give you some legitimate information on the place. So I did it backwards. I probably should have got the information first before I went on the trip, but whatever. So here's a little paper I printed out. Sleighton was originally a farm school for girls in the 60s. It's, I believe, Its status as a farm school was removed. In 1975, Sleighton was converted to a co-ed facility and eventually had more male students than female. In the late In the late 90s, Sleighton had financial issues, and Elwyn stepped in to form what is known as Sleighton Inc. The school eventually closed down in 2001 due to claimed financial difficulties and has remained vacant ever since. The property has remained neglected and poorly maintained and has fallen victim to Mother Nature and heavy vandalism. Currently, Sleighton Inc. is looking to rezone the property for future development. Middletown is currently rejecting rezoning due to density issues, and Elwyn is currently working to rezone Edgemont's 51 development acres. Property of Sleighton School dates back to very early times, and the first landowner, the man who received the grant from William Penn, was Henry Sleighton, who the school was named after. Other early families include the Bakers, Darlingtons, Evans. More about those owners are in the detailed section of this article. The original farmhouse on the school side is said to date back to the early 1800s. The stone barn in the Sunken Gardens is likely early 1800s. There's a house off of Valley Road known to date back to the early 1800s. And the little house and the barn converted to a house that are said to date back to the 1800s. Again, the farmer owners of these properties are mentioned in the detailed section below. The school itself originally started out as a House of Refuge in Philadelphia in 1826, which eventually broke off into a boys-girls department. Yeah, guys, in the late 1800s and 1900s. They both moved into Glen Mills, Royal Town in Delaware County, PA. The boys' school, founded in 1889, was known as Glen Mills School for Boys, and the girls' school, founded in 1911, known as the Glen Mills School during the period of the 1800s, and the cottages were erected along the schoolhouse. John Sargent Administrative Building, stone barn, powerhouse, and many buildings were constructed a few years later, including the Falconer Education Center, farm, office, Gray-Trent building, and the chapel. The cottages changed names over the years, but they are now known as the Lucrettia Mott, Campbell, Watson, Robinson, Lincoln, Dubois-Miller, and Harrison. Former cottages destroyed by fire were Logan and Washington. The chapel was built in 1965. The gym was built in the 80s. And major improvements were made to the Gray-Trent VO-Tech Center in the 1980s. And see, guys, this article actually has all the photographs here on the side of the page here of the buildings. And see, I didn't know that. I didn't know when we got there. I just assumed it was going to be one little building, maybe one or two buildings to go into. I didn't know there was going to be like a dozen buildings that were abandoned. We didn't go in them all. We just went into the ones that we could get into. Obviously, the other ones were boarded up, and you couldn't get into them. And the only ones we went into were the ones that were, if there was a board missing from a door or a window, or there's an easy way to get in. Other than that, I'm not breaking into anything. If there's a way in, fine. If not, forget about it. Excuse me. Very freaky indeed, though. We get there. My buddy comes, picks me up. I bring all this like ghost hunting equipment. I got a EMF detector that registers electromagnetic fields. I also have a digital voice recorder for EMPs, electronic voice phenomenon. I felt all badass. We're putting all of our stuff together. You'll see it in one of the videos. We're like, yeah, we're going to bring this, that, and the other thing. We get there, and literally, guys, I mean, a few of the rooms I wanted to do an EVP session, but at the same time, I didn't want to know what the hell was going on, especially the church part, the chapel. I didn't want to get a response. I didn't want anything, you know. I bitched out, guys. I wasn't really into it. I felt like shit as it was. The last thing I wanted to do was hear some creepy ass fucking voice come across the meter. So I just brought this stuff for nothing, apparently. But the church, guys, that was one of the most freakiest parts of the trip there. We went to this they had a chapel at the end of the property. It was all boarded up. And it's like a Gothic style chapel. I mean, it's made for, I guess, on the property, you know, multiple religions can practice out of it. Well, we get there and we find actually a way in. It's all boarded up, but we find a window that's popped out with a ladder, makeshift ladder going up to it. Well, my buddy climbs in first, and he goes, investigates, and then I come in after. And a lot of, looks like cult worshiping in there, because there's some like prayer books, like Bibles that were burned up. He says they were Bibles. They looked like music books to me, like, you know, like you would have in a church, but they were burned up nonetheless. Someone lit them on fire. And then the other part was there was a lot of I'd say questionable spray painted vandalism in there. A lot of demonic type shit. So it was really freaky. I don't know if any of these places are haunted per se, but I know a few of the buildings I went into, especially that church, you get a real heavy feeling, a creepy vibe. And we were hearing shit too. I mean, at one point, I don't know if it's in one of the videos, I hear something like thrown across the room. I hear something like hit the wall. It could have been my buddy messing with me. I don't know. But then at the other point I wanted to make was I was snapping photographs, pictures, and one point in the church, I took 3 or 4 pictures looking down the hall of the church, and the third picture in, there's like all these orbs, they call them. They're energy spheres in the picture. Now I know what you guys are saying, well, it could be dust. Well, yeah, it's what I thought too, until the pictures on either side of that picture didn't show the dust. So don't you think it would be in all the pictures, not just the one? I don't know. So you'll see that I have that not only on video, but the photos. I'm going to do a slideshow like what I did with Centralia. Put a photo slideshow together, but also you can see I got this GoPro video on, so while I'm taking the pictures, you can see that I'm taking the pictures back to back to back. I'm not, you know, I'm not even moving. I'm just standing straight still with it. So, like I said, it was some of the rooms and some of the places we went into where you get this really heavy feeling. Now, you'll hear me breathing a lot because I was started to get this cold that I have now, and I can't breathe out my nose because it's all clogged up. So I start, you know, you can hear me at points breathing out of my mouth. Apologize for that, but with the cold and with like these, you know, places the air is very thick and heavy, I probably should have been wearing a respirator, to be honest with you, breathing some of that shit in those places. But it was a very, very neat experience. We spent like 4.5 hours. Like I said, I underestimated the size of this place, and we investigated it as much as we could. Like I said, about half a dozen buildings we couldn't even get into. But we got into the gymnasium. I know that. We didn't go all the way in. I just took some video. The chapel, which was very freaky. We went in the basement and up to the third floor. We also went into one of the schoolhouse buildings, and it's kind of creepy. At one point, one of the rooms had these chairs. The legs of the chairs were jammed into the walls. So it always reminded me of like a poltergeist type of thing, like how the chairs are on the walls and the ceilings. I mean, the legs of the feet of the chairs are through the drywall, so you know somebody just did that, but it's just creepy looking. It's all dark. You can barely see. We got flashlights, and you see this creepy shit like that. So, I'm right in the process of editing all the video. Probably got more than a half hour worth of video that I'm going to put up along with the slideshow. It was a very fun trip. Like I said, it was 2 days after Christmas, and here we are 2 days after New Year's, and I'm going to finally get the videos up this week sometime when I get a chance. But yeah, let me know if any other, in the comments below. I'm from Delaware County, Pennsylvania. I'm looking for other places to try and check out. I got a couple in mind right now, but if you know of any that's kind of local to where I live, I'm not trying to go far, but I want to try and investigate some more of these places. Maybe I'll grow enough balls to do an EVP session. I don't know. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think about the Sleighton School when I post those videos. Very freaky. Like I said, if I watched some of the videos, but like I said, I know, every time I watch the videos, like while I'm editing, I see something new. So let me know if you see anything creepy, like in the background or anything like that. That'd be kind of cool if we caught something on the video and I didn't know about it. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Happy New Year. Happy 2017. Thank you for watching my channel and subscribing. I just got over 900 followers just last week. I'm very psyched about that. Thank you. And that's all I have for you. I'm going to try and do some more. I got some more horror memorabilia that just came in that I'm going to be doing some videos on, and I got some more serial killer stuff that I want to post up for you too. So a lot of big things coming. And like I said, look for the Sleighton Farms investigation videos to come up soon. Alright guys, see you later. Happy New Year.